Greetings, children of the screen, your friendly neighborhood nerd scum here once again, coming at you with another Quick Thoughts video. This week, taking a look at the first issue in the triumphant return of the Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four #1 by Dan Slott, and these other extremely talented people whose names I would have just absolutely butchered, so instead I'm just going to throw this credits page up right now. Alright guys, so I know that everyone's been really looking forward to the return of the FF in the Marvel Universe, so let's dive into this thing. Without any further ado, this is Fantastic Four. After a brief, cheesy reintroduction for those not familiar with the FF, we open on Ben and Alicia at the market looking at some kittens. Then we cut over to Johnny and Wyatt at a baseball game where they appear on the celebrity screen. But then around both sets, people begin clamoring, and as Ben and Johnny look into the sky, they see giant letters written in flames spelling out Fantastic Four. In jubilant rejoicing, Johnny flames on and flies off to meet the signal, while Ben solemnly hangs his head and leaves the market. Alicia catches up with him and asks him what's wrong. He then confesses to her that he knows it's not them, because Reed, Sue, and the kids are gone. Forever. About that time, Johnny finds his way to the building top from which the signal was sent, only to find two kids holding the stolen signal flare. The news then puts the false reports of the return of the Fantastic Four to bed. At the police station, Jen Walters shows up to represent the two boys, which enrages Johnny, who only gets sent further into a tailspin when he discovers that Ben is the one who hired her to represent them. Across town, Ben along with Shecky investigate where the signal flare was stolen from. Ben then shares the story of the FF's last off-world trip together with Shecky, in which they're lost in between dimensions and Johnny is called upon to sing, creating a vibratory frequency that would open a portal home. After telling the story, Ben, with a look of certainty on his face, grasps the jewel he was given on that adventure and declares that he's ready. It's time to go on the biggest adventure ever. We then cut to Alicia's house, where she sits playing with the cats from earlier. There's a knock on the door, and when she answers it, she finds Ben on the other side, but when she reaches out to feel for him, she finds his head at waist level as he's kneeling. He tells her to move a little bit to the right. She moves her hand, finding his arm extended, holding a wedding ring. Ben then asks, Alicia Masters, will you? But before he can finish, she screams yes and embraces him. Later, Johnny flies onto the rooftop restaurant where he finds Ben and Alicia sitting waiting for him dressed to the nines. He starts whining about the kids, and then he realizes something else is going on. That's when Ben and Alicia deliver the news. At first, Johnny seems super excited for them, but then when Ben asks him to be his best man, Johnny flips out, screaming, no! There's only one person in this world, or any other, that can be Ben Grimm's best man, and that's Reed Richards. Ben tells Johnny the truth, that they're not coming back, which enrages Johnny to the point of him exploding into flames and shooting off into the sky. As he reaches the upper atmosphere, he screams out, I'm not taking it anymore. You hear me, Reed? You're the smartest man in the universe, and I know you're out there. I know you can hear me, so send me a damn sign. After a moment, Johnny descends, his flames dwindling as he bursts into tears, gasping, it's true, isn't it? They're really gone. Ben, Angela, and Johnny embrace, and as they do, a bright light casts over them. Ben looks up, smirking. Unbelievable. And all around the city, all those saddened by the loss of the FF look up into the sky and see Johnny's sign. An enormous illuminated 4 hanging over the space in which Earth spins, and Johnny smiles, saying, it's about damn time. And that is where the main story leaves us off. However, we do get a backup story in which we see Latveria, which has been taken over by a new dictator and a new fascist regime. Then we see a young woman sneaking into Doom Castle, trying to reach Lord Doom. She encounters him only to find it to be a Doombot who attacks her. In the midst of her battle, she begs to see their master, and Doom appears, destroying the Doombots. She begs for him to please help them. Her people are in need. His people are in need. He tells her to go, but she presents him with his mask off of one of the Doombots, and Doom remembers his true role. From there we see the main square of the town, overrun with the fascist regime, as the young lady from the castle storms in, guns a-blazing. They ask her what she thinks she's doing, that she thinks that she can just take down the whole regime on her own, and she says, I'm not alone. At which point, Victor Von Doom rushes in, taking down all of the cyborg robots that the regime is using to maintain control, and then ripping through the armies, declaring that I require no robots, no armor, no one fighting by my side. What I need, what Latveria needs, is to bear witness, to watch me free them from the tyranny by my strength of my will and by my hand alone. And that is where this issue leaves us off. The artwork for both these stories works exceedingly well. In the first book, it is much lighter, much more colorful, much more fun, very in keeping with the general tone that we would expect from a Fantastic Four book. And then the second book, taking place in Latveria, giving us the return of Doctor Doom proper, is much darker and rougher, and again, completely in keeping with all the things we would associate with that character and the kind of storytelling that he's more accustomed to giving us. The writing across the board in this book is pretty solid. The characterization seems very much on point, and the coherence with the current continuity seems more or less intact. Beyond that, this book really hit all the kind of emotional peaks and valleys that I was kind of hoping it would. In conclusion, guys, I enjoyed this book, which shouldn't be a surprise because Dan Slott is a good writer whenever he has a story to tell and isn't just sitting on a book so that he can say that he was on it longer than anyone else. Do you know what I'm saying? But anyway, it wasn't perfect, but it was a really good start, though I will be waiting for the next issue or so to see if it's a book that I'm actually going to continue reading. I want to see where it's going. But in general, I did enjoy this issue, so this week this book is going to be getting 3 out of 5 GGs and a recommend. Right on, children of the screen, but that's just what I thought. Did you check out Fantastic Four #1? What'd you think? Let me know down in the comments below. And please give this video a like if you liked it, and share it with some friends. That's more important now than ever. And also, if you're not subscribed, make sure to subscribe and hit that little bell so you can get updates on all the dope content I'll have coming out in the future. Furthermore, guys, if you'd like to follow me on Instagram or Twitter, I will have the links for that in the description below. Thank you very much, children of the screen. I really appreciate you joining me for this, and I hope you all have a good one. Nerd Scum, out. Look at this freaking wraparound cover. It's freaking dope, man. It's got Galactus and Silver Surfer. And Ronan, sure, yeah, sure, Black Panther. It's kind of, it's cool.